They say that there are essentially only 7 stories or plots ever in the existence of mankind. Every story created can fit into one of those types of simple plots. The characters, details, places, etc. are variable, but everything can somewhat neatly fit into one of those stories or plots. They are overcoming the monster, rags to riches, the quest, voyage and return, a comedy, a tragedy, or rebirth. Those are the very 7 simple plot lines that go ahead and actually permeate our human existence, and most stories go and actually fit into. Now, most scholars look at Africa as the cradle of civilization, and it would make sense that we could trace some of our stories of today all the way back to African folktales. This series is going to give us a peek into the oral history of the stories of our ancestors and what they pass along in oral tradition. Now, I myself very much like history. However, folktales can be kind of like hit or miss with me. I'm not always dialed into the settings of these stories. I don't always get all the lessons, and sometimes it doesn't work in my brain. So I'm going to go ahead and actually say, with me kind of missing a lot of points and settings and things like that, I'm more of like the casual viewer in these types of stories and tales. But I'm going to go ahead and actually make sure that I try and go and actually keep a balanced mindset and kind of give perspective of main target audiences for this as well. This series is also part of my growing series that asks you as the casual viewer, did you miss me? That's right. There are plenty of series and shows that we miss because they're on a small platform. Maybe they're foreign based, they get no marketing, or sometimes they're just not that good. But I bring them to the masses, to you guys, to go ahead and actually give the final verdict of if you should actually give them your time or if they're not worthy of the time. If you like how that sounds, do me a favor, click like, share, subscribe. And now, let's get into this review. African Folktales Reimagined premiered in March of 2023 on Netflix. It has 6 episodes that are 30 minutes. They're each standalone stories that span the continent of Africa and feature languages of Swahili, English, French, Xhosa, hopefully that I'm saying that correctly, and Arabic. Subtitles are available for all of them. They have stars all across Africa that give performances in these stories. So here are the storylines for the first 2 episodes in this series. First, Katrina and the Punishment Island. Abandoned on an island, a woman grieving the loss of her baby exacts revenge on the powerful men that put her there. Now this story right here, it kind of gives me that Kill Bill energy. The performance is very good. The setting for this first one figures to kind of go back to, I would say, like late 19th century, early 20th century, that type of setting. The drama and action are very good, and it's a very good revenge tale, and the pacing is excellent on this first episode. The second is called Halima's Choice. Forced into an arranged marriage, Halima turns to a stranger in the virtual world of Napa for help. Now, this is a little bit more like Matrix to me. There's more of a dramatic story here, a story about wanting to escape reality for perceived happiness. And that's even if that happiness isn't quote-unquote real. The story is more ideological here than visual, but it does have a message of happiness of the mind is more important to most people. Meaning that if you're happy upstairs, maybe the reality as far as the physical doesn't mean as much. For both of the episodes I watched, it's interesting to watch African storytellers but put different spins on older stories to modernize them for us today. But the lessons and insights into the human condition can still resonate in these stories. Some other things that I can go ahead and actually say is that, against the backdrop of Africa, it's always wondrous. The land, the outfits, the people, they're vibrant and they're just so engaging. It's visually stimulating. Also, the tales here really make use of the land of where they're at. Sprawling landscapes, intimate villages, real traditions, they all really help bring the tales to life. So ultimately, what is my verdict for this particular series? For fans of folk tales, of African stories or folk tales or what have you, I'm going to say watch the entire series. All of these stories have valid lessons to teach. The scenery and acting are excellent. And with just 6 episodes at 30 minutes apiece, you'll be done with all of them in the time that it takes to watch all of the Titanic movie. So it's definitely worth it to go and actually binge it out if you're such a fan of folk tales. For casual viewers, I'm going to go and actually say give it a 1 episode watch. The first one is very fast paced, relatable, and will give you a good handle on if these tales are for you. And with how it's done, you'll definitely be entertained while watching this particular episode. So again, for main target audiences, I'm going to say binge the entire series. For casual viewers, give it a 1 episode watch. And that's what I have for African Folktales Reimagined on Netflix. Check it out. You stayed for the entire series. I'm appreciative of that. I really am. Do me a favor. Click like, share, subscribe if you liked any of this. Also, go ahead and actually click on one of my other reviews here that the algorithm seems to think that you might like of mine. But until the next time, I'll holla at you. Take care of yourself.